Hello, and what a unique arrangement of carbon-based atoms you turned out to be. This is Sidrat Gaming. I am, of course, Sidrats, and AtomCraft is a sandbox adventure game, except it's a bit more than that. It's a science project kit in a digital box, so you don't have to expose yourself to radiation or nasty chemical smells. Instead, you can smelt, purify, mix, and even blow stuff up to your twisted little heart's content. The Steam link is in the video description below. In the previous episode, I accidentally used alumina instead of pumps, which created a Corrundum Wall, like it said it would, on the bottom left of the game screen, which I failed to look at. Corrundum walls occur naturally in the game, so they're not affected by the crowbar in the same way as other wall-type pixels. Now, I spent far too long panicking instead of thinking logically about the position I was in, and subsequently ended the video. Shortly after doing this, I took to Steam and left a description of what I did, what's happened, and if this is a bug in that post. Now, a fellow AtomCraft player, Infinity Digits, very quickly posted a reply with very helpful advice. If your drill won't work, use your laser if you have one, or just try to burn melt it, lol. Start low using wood first and work up until some type of fuel burns it. That's my idea anyway. I read that twice and then I stopped after the third word. If your drill won't work. I never tried the drill. Yes, I did slap my head after reading it because using the drill never entered my brain. In the panic, the obvious was just too hard to see. But I want to thank you, Infinite Digits. I'll be doing that in this video. Just a few more things before we get to the gameplay for this video. The first is a dev response regarding the reversible conveyor belts, which in episode 7 did reverse to the left, but then didn't go to the right after a second press of the switch. Caden Oz posted in the Steam forum, and we've had a response from Headcrab Wig, confirming a likely bug, and they'll try to stamp it dead in the next build, so we can all look forward to that working as intended. The last update was on the 4th of August, which among other quality of life updates made the change to the blender pixels, which will now swap filled and empty cells together, making it possible to erase much more easily and enabling some interesting designs. A brilliant recommendation from Asta La Vista Ace One made me question my understanding of it, but I replied, and this is what we're going to do in the video. Once I've mined the Corrundum walls, I will test the diagonal match filter idea, and if it works, I will then redesign the flue network to bring the carbon back into the carbon space above the melting chamber and the product going into a slightly higher pit. Let's fire up the bloody forge. We are not firing up the forges just yet, but we will be making a start in getting the stuff ready. This is tomorrow from whatever you've just watched. So I've had a nice restful sleep, because Friday was quite a good day, and there we go. And the game has had an update, because apparently that's what the devs do. This message here is to confirm the reverse switch is now working. So we're going to test it, which should be very nice. And we can get rid of that, and we can now click on the game screen and we can test it. Make sure I've got my hand tool. There we are. And if I click on that button there, it goes left because it's now green, and we can click on the button and it goes right because it's purple. It's fixed. It's working. That's marvelous. And the other point that I want to address is that Corrundum Wall here. Let's see if we can use that crowbar tool. Oh, we can. That's been fixed as well. That is legendary. Thank you very much, developers. You are amazing. Yeah. So the two bits that were addressed from, or the two bits that were experienced in episode 7 no longer apply to players moving forward from the 7th of August, because that's the recording date of this gameplay video, which I've finally got around to doing. So let me click on that because that was water. This is empty as well. We've got the jetpack on. What's going on with the jetpack? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to just restart the game. Yeah, the two issues have been resolved, which is great. And so now I want to pick up the third idea, or the idea where the match filter exists underneath. Let me have a look. So I think the idea is for the carbon to go this way and up, and the final product will have another match filter in this pixel here, and that will drop down and then do whatever we need it to do. It would have to drop down here just one pixel before conveyor belts take it along and up or wherever it needs to go. And why is my jetpack not working as it used to? Has something changed in the controls? Right, so it's working now. And the jetpack in hover mode. Oh, that's a bit weird. Interesting concept though. We can no longer fly like we used to be able to. I'm not mad about this. This is we can hover in a space, but we can't go up. So we can only go up by turning the jetpack off. I'm going to turn the helmet on. So yeah. Oh. Oh no. So another fix that they've introduced is rain won't fall from space anymore. So there will be no weather in space. That's why all of this stuff is just stationary, because it was there. Neon gas, methane, helium, argon. This is a new background as well. This is a very nice background. Methane, nitrogen gas. Oh, we've reached the outer limit. We've reached something interesting. It's yellow. That wasn't there before. Let me look at the yellow and bring up the map and fall, and we're not on the map. Are we still falling? I don't know. Yes, we are falling now with the jetpack on. We're rising up as well. We've got these lighter than air gases. That's not falling anymore, is it? Jetpack on. There's some movement because my cursor's doing something odd. There we go. Jetpack off. Catch that trail. It's carbon dioxide, methane, loads of methane. There's animals all over the place. In the patch notes, I haven't read today's patch notes, but in the previous patch notes, they've also mentioned that they're changing, or they have changed, the weight of some gases as well. I think they've lowered them. But this is bizarre. We fall like a rock when the jetpack is turned on, and we don't seem to fall at any rates when the jetpack is off. Let's use that as reference. So we do fall with the jetpack off. Oh, it's gone. So we'll leave the jetpack off. Take a look to see where you're going, dude. There you go. And we are falling, so that's a good thing, but I'm going to splat against a rock, am I not? Yes, I am. That silicon carbide deposit. Can I mine this one? No. No, not at all. That's fine. It's in red on the bottom left. Oh, I don't think that should be allowed. We can see what the mineral is. Actually, you can do that on the map as well. Olivine. Yeah, you can see that on the map as well, even though it's covered. You can see it. There's loads down here as well. I don't exactly know what olivine is. They've changed the curse. I'm sure they've changed the cursor, the icon for the guide to materials. Olivine deposits. It looks like magnesium and something. So input drill. So it's a combination of magnesium, that silicate thing, and iron. So magnesium and iron combination. Does this have? It doesn't say, but it's got 17 degrees there. Magnesium chloride, orthosilicic acid, and water. Yeah, achievements, spaceship repair, crafting, toolbox, inventory, everything else. That's the same. So you've got material guide with the icon, but the guide to materials is a different icon. It's easy to overlook. I'm being petty for no reason, because the devs are wonderful, wonderful people who actually use their left and right turn indicators as necessary. So let's get back to the ground. Methane, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide gas, and we're back. Where is this methane? It's coming from animals, we know that. They're moving up really fast. It's not an issue as long as you... I don't know if you can kill all of the animals. If you can, then that would be an issue at some point. So don't do that. Right. Let's have a look. So, yeah, let's have a look at the... What's this? Alumina. We can put that. I'm not going to put anything on there yet. What I want is one of them. Match filter. We've got non-match filter. That's already in the book, isn't it? Yeah, why can't you see what these are anymore? I'm sure you used to be able to, without going over them. Don't want me... I can't right click out them either. Have controls changed? I'm not going insane, am I? Infantry toolbox upgrades, precision, shift and control, next tool slots, zoom, bracket left and right. There's also other shortcuts as well. Program rotates, toggle flashlights. Do you? Okay. Jetpack performance, vision mode, respawn and get unstuck. Yeah, vision mode. Vision mode is for the heat. Absolutely fantastic. Right, so let's get into the ship. Or let's get into the inventory, and we want to match filter. Fine. Pick them all up. MAT, there we go. So we've got alumina. We need it for the upgrade, and we're going to do it now, but if it requires further testing, then I'll use a different material to do that with. We've got bauxite there, barytes, whatever that is. We've got loads of gases. Bismuthinite again, block liquids. No, block gases I'm going to pick up, because if the test works, then we need to redesign the flue network. And because of the shape of the layouts, the flue network will have to pass over or above and to the left, which will affect the carbon going back into the carbon location above the main firing bin, but also that's where the off gases come from as well. Or we can move the button down. No, that's not going to work. No, we can't do the button. The button for the door to release the carbon would be in the way if we tried to flue that side. So it has to go out from the other side of the fire pit, the oven part, and that's also where the carbon has to go to. So block gases will allow the gas to travel with pumps and stuff, and then the carbon can just drop straight through. That's my initial theory anyway. Carbon we have all of. Carbon dioxide we don't need any of at this moment in time. Ceramic, charcoal, chromite, yes. Coal, yes. Probably need to pick up some more, unfortunately. Cobalt oxide, cobalt steel, cobaltite, conveyor rights. If you're here from watching an earlier video, there has been an update to Blender's Blender pixels, so they will mix the empty squares with the items itself, so it does make mixing a lot easier. We probably need fewer Blender pixels because they affect all 8 pixels that surround the Blender pixel in the middle, and it could cause issues if you have them too close together, which I think I mentioned in episode 7 but didn't get around to following through. I'm just looking to make sure we've got, what's that? Hydrogen. Why have we got 1 unit of hydrogen gas? Terrible. We picked that up from the upper atmosphere. Keep scrolling, match filter, don't need methane, though it is fun to watch burning, which we have 301 of. And long may it continue to do so. Molten iron, sulfur and zinc. Do I want to clean them up now? No. Keep moving forward. Focus. Focus. Neon gases. Nickel we'll keep. Nitrogen gas can go. Non-match filter we can keep. We don't need nuts, oil or oxygen gas just yet. We'll keep the pumps. We'll keep the reversible conveyor belts, or we'll get them just in case that is required. It probably will be. Silicon, silver, sodium bisulfates, sphalerite, steam we can get rid of. I saw an 8 sulfur dioxide gas, get rid of. That's what I picked up from the water, from the rain, and that's lemonade without the lemon. That's fine. We've got wood so that we can turn that into charcoal or carbon as necessary. But I think we should be good to go for the purposes of this test video. I will be standing here, and what's this? Alumina, chromites. What's in here? Methane. Yeah, okay, I've got a lock screen, but I don't have the ability to even select what's going on here. I am no longer able to adjust the selected bar. Right. Well, we've still got argon and other gases. I totally missed them. Anyway, match filter. Let me try that one. No, that's the brush size. It's going up and down with the square brackets. The Q and E doesn't move the tools either. Control and scroll wheel, Alt and scroll wheel, Shift and scroll wheel doesn't change either. That is going to be fairly annoying. And if we zoom in, we can't see what we're trying to work on. But anyway, let me move this out of the way. We'll scoop them up. Pick up more. Where did that one go? There. Right, okay, that's interesting, because if that is the case, then anything that's matching to carbon. So because that's going to have another match filter, would that automatically move over here? Or does it need a pump to draw from there? Let me test this one first. What does what was it? Alumina. So alumina and carbon make molten aluminium. That's what we need to that's what we need to match for. So let me do aluminium, and we should have molten alumina. Oh, is it molten alumina or molten aluminium? Molten aluminium. There we go. Okay. I hope that is actually what we do get and receive, but we also need to place a stopper there. We also need to remove that one. The mouse is returning to where it was. That's quite annoying. So we got the coal in there, comes down, fills up this part here. Yeah. So with my cursor on the right side, when I change it, the cursor goes away, and when I come back, it's right next to me. Or, right, it's in a default location all the time. Okay. For those of you with small desks and small mouse areas, you might struggle with that. But I have complete confidence that it's not going to take long for the devs to fix it. Let's get on Steam forums, make sure if it has been done already, leave a comments as well. If the dev has responded and he's working on it, leave him alone. It's fine. And don't forget, tomorrow, from the time of recording, is the weekend, and everyone deserves the right to at least 2 consecutive days off, except people in the creative arts and YouTubers who work from the comfort of their own home with no travel time. Let's... Oh, that's only... Oh. Oh, okay. I'm also going to block this up here as well. Why am I building stuff with carbon instead of ceramic? Because that's what I've selected, dummy. Right, okay. Let's pick up that and see what damage I've done. I will click on that so we can... Did you see what just happened there? It stopped. Look at this area of the screen here. Look at that. Look at that. You got 2 on there. You got 1 above these 2, and the line going all the way down. That's all coal. I'll get rid of the yellow pattern as well. But this is all coal blocks, pixels. So the conveyor is there. And then you've got coal on this line, coal on this line. Watch what happens. It's left that coal, but it's picked up that coal, this one as well. I don't know about you, but that is fascinating. Let's see if it would do the same thing as well. Yeah, okay. That looks well, that looks really, really good. But we can draw a line there. That is now ceramic wall. That is fine. Click on that to bring more coal across. Come on. Oh, got to select the hand tool, otherwise the buttons don't work. Don't know if that's strictly necessary, but okay. What's in there? That's carbon. Alright, okay, we've got loads of carbon and charcoal as well. Let's bring up alumina. Dump that in. So this is now filtering for molten aluminium and carbon. That is alumina. When that melts, it should drop down into here. That's my foot, by the way. That's not a pixel. It's just a very annoyingly colored foot. Do I want to? Yeah, let's bring that one. Let's bring that one along here. And if I get molten aluminium, it will drop down into here and it will go there. And I'm trying to get underneath that so I can stand here. Okay, I don't know why I'm standing there, but we'll see if we can set it on fire. We can. This is good. And that's spreading. That will go. I haven't got any pumps. Pumps into there. That's fine. Build pump to the right. As a one block. Yes, one block item. All the way through here. Okay. It's the left, isn't it? Oh. If I was embarrassed, you wouldn't know any of this because I wouldn't put it on the feed, but it happens, you know. It happens. It happens so much. I'm losing a lot of coal by not being actually good at playing the game. Or it's not really playing the game, it's details. Left. Pumps go on the left because that's the direction we want the airflow, the off gases to go. Then it goes up and then it goes into here. The button to release is now on the left instead of the right. That will pump gases or everything to the right, but these will only allow gases to pass. Gas wants to go up. So this space, probably not necessary, but it's still nice to have. At least you don't travel on the conveyor belts anymore. Which is fine. But let's put in the let's use charcoal. If it doesn't work, we can change it. And then chromites, no. And then we want alumina. There we go. Then we want to set fire to the coal charcoal substance, and then so when we get molten aluminum in that space there, that's when we'll know if this block works or not. Are we getting up to temperature? What's this one? I don't think we're going to be able to get up to temperature. V. That's nice and warm. What is the temperature of aluminium? 659. Okay. Right, okay. In order to get molten aluminium, that's 2000, so we're probably going to be needing coal. Yeah. Okay. Drop coal. Oh. I know I did not change my iron bar. I'm fairly certain anyway. Oh, right, well. You now have to click on the item that you want to burn, just not, it won't work in the general direction. But that is now coal burning, and that's 300. Okay, that's rising. That's fine. Bring that up as well. That's 2,000. That's 5. That's 5,000. It's not even off pressing any gas, and that's 400. And now most of my coal is gone. Is this space too big? Should I just dump everything there and increase the temperature that way? Hasn't done much. Chromates, charcoal. And that's carbon there as well. Got the hand tool selected. Let's have a look to see if that helps at all. Carbon got hot straight away. Alumina is now increasing temperature. Molten, there we go. Molten alumina. I know what I don't have on here, which I did have previously. But this is the block that we're waiting for. Once that turns to molten alumina, because it's not in contact with the carbon, is it? We need blender pixels. Here they are. Build. Is it 2 spaces? Yeah, it'll be 2 spaces with the blender pixels. This is the conveyor belts above. So if we would do that like so, that will now aerate molten alumina. Right, now that's mixing everything up. Right, molten alumina. Is that trying to be? 560, 570. Is it because we don't have a blender there? Blender there. Right, placing the blender there, got things moving. So the carbon is coming through, and it's not, yeah, it's no longer hot enough to do anything at all. I think I'm going to be getting some more fuel. Right, blender tools. So that one is controlled by that one. That one will be controlled by these, which are spaced 2 apart, and we'll go up to there. What happened? And why? It did. Okay, I know I am not selecting a different item unless it's on video, and I did. But blender pixels, 1, 2, spaced like that, and blender, bottom left hand side. Right, okay. What? Blender pixels, build that one, that one, that one. Oh, it's moving up when I increase the box. So when I do that, I can then go up like so, and that will now be fine. Okay, no worries. We can get some more coal. That would be best. Let's remove the filters just in case there's anything on there. That's fine. Go to the map, type in coal, press the blue icon. We've got 49 charcoal there. Coal deposits 631, 725, 1800, so we're going there. That's down 2 and then to the right. Essentially, down 2. Down into that one, so down into the gold, go right. 1, 2, 4, 5, and then 7. So we'll pass 2 gold, and it's the second cobalt thing that I come across. That's also, I've still got the temperature on. That's the first screen. This is the second screen with the gold. We go through there. We say hello to him. Oh, and I still can't hover. I can't fly up. So that was the first cobalt. Come across the second. We will come across the second very shortly. Yeah, just through here. That's coal here. That'll be mercury liquid. I'm actually not a fan of these control changes. And I think you have to be a bit more precise as to what you're hovering over with the mining tool as well. What's that? Alright. Because sometimes it's just not mining anything. And I am pushing forward. It's not because I'm not pushing forward. Right. So we go past here. That had 460. This has got 1800. That's where I'm going. And I know I've typed M twice on the map screen. But we can do that one. That's limestone. And bauxite. Okay, that's fine. Coal 300. 400. No, that's limestone. Coal. That's our coal down there. 600 units of coal so far. Let's hope for a large quantity here. Yep. And that flashing bit is coal as well. Yay, we've got coal up here. That can't be by design. That was really annoying. What's this? Potassium nitrate bauxite. We've got 1700 coal. That's fine. People in the comments say work on hydrogen, work on other bits and pieces, and that's absolutely fine. I will, obviously, I will at some point. But people start with the solid fuel burner, and that's a good thing. So let's make the solid fuel burner the best that we can, because that will tie into gas forges and refiners and all the other little wonderful bits that I personally haven't come across yet. Let's give them room to breathe. Let's pick up the eggs so they don't get sad and lay some more. There you go. Thank you very much. And that's more methane. And this can happen. I'm not sure why. I'm trying to click on the cow, but it's in a tree and it's not letting me. There we go, got it. Obviously, not being able to fly as well as we used to be able to fly means that our buildings may now require some stairs and some thought to where we drop things. Go back inside you. And please stop fasting just for one day. Milk, milk, milk. There we go. Right. Now that we've got coal, we've got the blenders in. Absolutely fine. Let's get the indium. This is all the new stuff, isn't it? I have to go back to the ship and get the stuff that we actually need. Technically, the only thing that we should actually need is coal. Coal. And ceramic. Ceramic is always good, just in case we need to build something. And what's it called? It was molten alumina, 26 of it. Right, so we've got molten alumina. We just don't know how long it will stay molten, of course. And alumina. Oh, alumina. Alumina. There we go. Okay, sorry for that, everyone. Aluminium oxyhydroxide. That's a solid. Aluminum. Bromide, carbide, chloride, fluoride, oxyhydroxide. Bauxite. You get that from bauxite. And then you can turn that into alumina at 447. Not too bad. Right, okay. That is fine and definitely not relevant. So we've now got alumina there, coal there, ceramic there, and molten alumina there. That was for molten aluminium. So if I drop the carbon and that quickly, well, that's the carbon is going to come through, and no, it cooled off too quickly. Okay. I thought it was worth a go. Alright. How about we test it in a different way? Let's make that alumina. Press P, otherwise it doesn't work. Alumina. So we've got carbon there, alumina there, we've got alumina in our hands. It does work. It does work. And it's technically falling through a solid ceramic wall. So I wonder we could place the, if I had it, don't want it there, I'm going to put the, alright, that's cool. So yeah, it works. It works. I'm happy with that. It will work for everything that you can identify in the manufacturing process. We can do it again. Let me drop in the carbon and the alumina. That's a mistake. So now we've got both in there. And both are coming through. This is epic. I just wish it didn't come at the same time as the navigation controls, because that's going to be very, very annoying. But that's going to lead to a rather fun build, which I'm likely going to be doing offline, just to keep these videos shorter than they were. But this has been a 50-minute recording, but we have proven the concept. The conveyor belts have been fixed. Yay. As well as the wall type being able to be crowbarred from now on as well. What's your thoughts on the movement system with the jetpack just not jazzing you up or stabilizing you in any way, shape or form? You can maintain, you can keep level, but you can't go up in the air. You have to turn the jetpack off and then rise and then turn it back on again to stabilize. In some ways it's a great idea. I just wish I just wish we could have the old one back so I can fly over the house without having to do that. It will be great for long distance journeys at the same level. But I think the biggest bug, the biggest annoyance is going to be having to lift your mouse off the table when you go and change your tools back to the hand tool. Defaulting, not a good idea. It defaults, so we can look to the right with the hammer, change it to a fire, and it goes back to the middle of the screen. I've got a rather large desk, thankfully, but I still find it annoying. What do you all think? Leave a comment in the YouTube comment section on this video, but definitely check the Steam forums as well. We know the developer is reactive and proactive in when we raise issues. If they don't think that it is an issue, then they will explain, or they have explained and I just haven't read it. But always be respectful of them as an individual, as people, and for the time, etc. You don't have to get mad. This is a computer game. If you're getting mad about a computer game, just stand up, take a deep breath, walk away, go feel grass underneath bare feet, or sand, if that's an opportunity for you, and maybe wash your feet off first, depending on what type of grass you're walking through, especially if it's where dog owners go. But yeah, if it's intentional and they haven't explained why it's intentional, ask the question if it hasn't, but keep it respectful. Okay? On that, not really a bombshell, just basic human consideration for other people. That's the end of episode number. I've been doing it long enough, I should know it. 8. And if you made it this far, congratulations. In episode number 9, I'm going to take advantage of that system because I don't know if we'll be able to filter for other blocks. Maybe we could have 3, 4. We could have an area there that things will get shunted into. Because they're getting shunted into eventually, we'll be using up a lot of fuel in the process. But eventually will happen, but not straight away. How can we get the materials that we want in the location that they need to be? But anyway, yes, so we could design it so that the carbon and whatever else fall onto the same conveyor belts, and then use pumps with matching match filter pixels above it to only allow carbon. Then that could be its own dedicated chute, like this, but one wide, and it will travel up in one single line. I think it used to be how that used to look like before I got wise. Actually, yes, it's not one wide because things were backing up and it was just too slow. So this allows for more off-gassing to be travelled and get dispersed through. But on that note, this is really goodbye.